up, y'all? Welcome back to On the Bar podcast. You got your girls here. My name is Bella Marie.
My name is Sierra.
I'm Sterling.
And I'm Kami.
And we're so happy you guys are here with us today. I was gone for a bit. I was so sad that I was gone. I had to go to Arizona. I had to go support my best friend in his show. I drove all the way to Arizona and back with my car being actually really fucked up, guys.
Wait, why? How was it? What was messed up?
No, so like...
Also, love the nails.
Thanks, guys.
Nail cam.
She did.
They look so good.
I know. I was gonna say they look butterfly. Look at the butterflies.
So basically my brake pads were just gone.
Oh, slay.
And I kept hearing like a sound, and the sound I was hearing was scraping of metal that was just scraping and scraping and scraping. And I knew I heard something, but I was like, I don't have the money and I don't have the time to go check it out before I go to Arizona. So I still went. And I drove there and back. And then when I drove back, I had a...
You're just a girl.
I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl.
So
and I had this...
Yeah,
I had
that
this,
is so girl-coded.
That is insane.
By the grace of God, you made it.
She said, I heard scraping metal.
She said, it said, must be fine.
What's so funny is I had this guy check out, because he's a mechanic, and I had this guy check it out, and I was like, I knew if I told you like that you would get mad at me, so like can you just like check it out and see? And he checked it out and he's like, yes, your brake pads are gone.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's a miracle that you made it to Arizona and back.
Yeah.
And your car didn't like. And I was like, haha, very funny. And then I took it to the mechanics who actually did the job that they were supposed to do instead of just look at it and be like, oh, you need to go get it done. Like my friend who just looked at it and said, you need to get it done. But I went to the actual mechanics and they were like, how? And I was like, a woman who's stubborn gets the job done.
Wait, so do you have to get your whole brakes replaced or just the pads?
I'm not sure, but $500
That's
later.
your rotors and your brake pads. So you had to get the entire thing replaced.
Sometimes.
How do you know that?
How do I know that? Oh,
She's a car girl.
well, it's a mix of things. It's my mom always kind of working on our cars growing up by herself.
That's so cool.
And then
Shout out your
also
Yeah.
when the first time I got my brakes fixed, like two or 3 years ago, I heard nothing, and then I heard metal on metal, and I said, how did this happen? I went to Pet Boys. The guy looked at me, he said, how did you not know that your brakes were like this? I said, well, first of all, King, not my fault.
I didn't go to automation school.
I didn't go to auto school.
Yeah, I didn't go to Pet Boys school.
And then I had to get my I'm crying.
I'm sorry that you went to Pep Boys.
Sorry that you graduated from Pet Boys Academy. I actually didn't do that.
Let's be honest, it's a GED.
Yeah.
Right. It is.
I'm yelling.
And then
Wait, shout out
yeah.
my kid.
no. Yeah, you guys are all great. I wish I knew more about cars.
Don't say all.
I was just
You
coming
guys are
for the
great.
For the
Don't
guy.
say
Wait, okay, I have a question for y'all. If you would like had to pick some sort of trade, like in another life, if you were living a trade, what trade would it be?
Oh, I almost did become certified to be an electrician.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
So in like when I was in
Crazy
film school,
lore
like,
drop.
learning about like
when you were
lighting.
in film school? Sorry, let me just.
Learning about lighting, like I was doing camera stuff, but then I like floated into doing like G&E, and there's a position called best boy, and you go around and you make sure that you don't blow up the set basically with
You're
all the
just the best
electricity.
guy.
Yes, and that's actually from like film history, where they would call it the best boy electric because it was the most dangerous job on set, because you could quite literally like electrocute yourself. And so they'd be like, look at that guy, best boy, like he's the best,
and so
best
you
little
wanted
guy.
to do that?
Yeah, no, so I don't know, I was just kind of like, I work with my hands, I'm a tomboy, you know?
You are.
And so like
Right.
I was
understand
actually
that.
like, I had friends who were like gaffers and stuff, and like they were teaching me how to do it, and I was like, what if I just got certified to be an electrician? Like, would that be helpful in this career? And they're actually like, no. At least the advice at the time was like, no, don't do that, because if you're an electrician or if you're certified, like you're liable if something goes wrong on set.
Oh wow.
So it's like actually to preserve your like
Interesting.
Your safety, like, don't do it. So
Interesting.
What about you?
I think I would choose deep water welding.
you get paid so much. For
Hey.
That. Yeah, that's a good trade. That's like that's a provider's trade.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I would provide.
And you would.
I'd probably have a small dick though. I feel like I feel like people that do like really high intensity stressful jobs are like over compensating.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I could see that.
Is that
I'm crying.
problematic
He's
to say?
I would have a small dick though. That's crazy. Yeah, I literally would be a mechanic. Like,
Yeah, you're almost there.
Wait, did you finish the Pep Boys story? Sorry, I think I cut you off.
oh, essentially, I had to go get my brakes done like 2 weeks ago after I got my tires done, and so my wallet was really sad.
Amen.
But that's how I be knowing. No, I would be a mechanic just because cars stress me out. So like, anything wrong with my car, and I'm having an anxiety attack. Like, it's so bad. If I could fix that for free,
Just do it. Yeah.
if I could just do it myself, and I know I can. I know if I really wanted to, I could. I just don't want to. In another life, maybe I would, though.
I hear that.
How about you?
Bella Marie?
I feel like I'd be a professional athlete, unfortunately.
Wait, no,
Is that
okay,
a
a
trade?
trade. Like a specific
Oh, I guess it's not a trade.
Were you just thinking of like manly jobs?
trade. Like if I were a man.
She was like, if I was a man,
I
what
feel
would
like
I
I'd
do?
be like I was like an athlete.
But like a blue collar
construction,
type job.
Oh, I guess then like what's like the I guess a skin doc, like what's the doctor that like or dermatologist, I guess.
Still,
Damn it!
trade.
I was like electrician, deep water welding is one.
Woodworking?
Oil, woodworking.
I would also love to do woodworking.
like oil like if you wanted to like do oil
Yeah.
Well, working on
Mining could be fun.
Guys, could be fun.
Mining could be
Black
cool.
lung could be fun.
just look out for those bombs.
I already have black lung. Like I'm a smoker. Mom and dad.
Guys, I don't know this.
No, I'm not.
Skip.
Wait, come on.
Yeah,
I
we
don't-
gotta.
Okay,
don't
let's give you
know.
one.
All right.
The pause, the deep pause.
No, I was just because Drizzy asked me this question. Drizzy is my roommate. But Drizzy asked me this question and she said her trade would be plumbing.
She'd clean your
I
pipes.
think Bella would make a really good electrician. I think you'd make a great electrician.
So
Okay,
the way
no,
I'm
you
like,
can't get offended
I
by
feel
that.
like you would do like tile work.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Like you would do some
Yeah.
meticulous ass tile
Okay,
work.
Yeah.
I take that.
For
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
nice
Yeah.
tiling, hardwooding. Yeah,
Yeah,
The floors.
I see that for you.
You would be
Yeah.
like a former football star to tile architecture kind of.
I would be, yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the
Architecture.
with you and your buddy construction guys are always talking about football.
Yeah.
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 So true. I would be like a construction worker.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But, like-
you have like a specific
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
skill.
designing.
Yeah. Yeah. Glad we got that covered.
The way I like was like this. That's not it. This still not it.
That's so
Oh
funny.
Lord. We'll
Miss
continue life
Girl,
updates.
Yeah. What was your
Yeah,
night
where were
like?
you out and about last night?
Last night of
Dancing where?
What are we talking about?
So I went to Bordner's with someone
With someone.
from my past.
Ooh.
We kind of started to rekindle, and we had a lot of fun. We were just like dancing and stuff. Met a lot of his friends. It was nice just to like see what he's up to, what he's up to these days. But
Wait, pause. Who?
we're gonna
Can we
bleep
bleep
this.
it? Yeah.
we'll bleep
Just
it.
bleep it.
But it's
Sterling, I support women's rights and wrongs.
It's because Venus is in retrograde.
Yeah.
Damn.
But long story short, I had a really good time.
Yeah.
As long as it went well.
Hey, I support you
Thank you.
in all aspects, and I don't mean to be like that's a wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. It's all part of the like journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel good about the decision right now. I'm excited about what happens, but who knows?
I also met a boy.
So we're already
new one?
all of us.
Yes. Nothing like really crazy to say about this yet, but
In development.
in development, maybe. Let me tell y'all. I've been waiting to tell y'all.
Wait, I'm excited.
So I went to the MLK Day Parade on Monday at Leimert Park. So much fun. Everyone should go to that. Shit was lit. And now I'm like, okay, I don't know. This is gonna be a tradition for me now to go to the MLK Day parade. It was lovely. I got Nigerian food. Not the point. I was gonna stay down in Lamert to go do some work because I just had a bunch of homework to do, and then there was like gang activity happening. So I was like, let me just go get on out. So then I went to a different coffee shop. Something happened there, and I went to another coffee shop. Not the vibe. So I went to a fourth coffee shop and pulled up. And I was walking in. This cute guy was walking in at the same time. And I looked over and I was like, "Oh, so we gonna keep it cute. Just look forward, you know." And we were standing in line together, and we were like looking at this packed coffee shop. And then he like leaned over and was like, "It's packed in here." I was like, yeah, I know, that's right.
You're like a magnet for the meet cute. I feel
I
like,
love a meet
there's
cute.
every single time
She's
I'm out
cute.
with Cami, like a guy will approach just like cold open, just be like,
Come on.
"Hey, what you
You're
doing?"
sweet.
Yeah.
It's because I open up the
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah, and I think
know?
you end up making
Open
eye
energy.
contact too.
The eye contact is
Yeah,
key.
because I've
You're
tried
really
it a
good
few
at that.
times, and I'm like, oh, like that's it. That's what they're looking for is the eye contact.
It's so
Yeah.
fun too.
Yeah.
It feels like a game.
Yeah.
And having open body language.
Yeah. I just try to be like open, but I appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, we were like talking, and then like he was like, "Oh, I like found a spot for you," and I was like, "Ah, great!" And I like sat
It's
down,
like it's on my lap.
Oh.
and I would sit, and I would.
And she would have.
And she sat.
I'm sad.
And I literally did. No, but we were at this coffee shop for like 3 hours and just like chatting and then going back to our work and then like chatting and then going back to our work.
That's so cute.
It was
really
cute. It was
cute.
really cute. And then he invited me to his 5-year anniversary party that he's having for being in LA.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't know really like
This is so exciting.
I hope so. Like I thought he was really cute and I enjoyed the meet cute.
Uh-huh.
But anything after that, now I'm like, okay, now we got to get down to the nitty gritty, see what this shit is really about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When is this 5-year anniversary of his arrival?
This weekend, not this weekend, next weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I feel like a little stressed about that because I'm like, your whole friend group, but we haven't gone like on a date or anything.
Yeah, that's like kind of
Maybe
crazy.
try
right?
and like go on a date
first.
If we were gonna go on a date, it would be the only time I could go would be Sunday afternoon, and then I can't do anything for like the next week until like the party happens.
Which is like, I don't think that's bad.
So
As long as you
Plus
get something in.
You could see it as like a networking opportunity, maybe. Like it's his party, right? So he's gonna be popping around to other people and stuff like that. So like you could meet people there.
I'm just gonna go around and meet people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meet new friends, meet new people in LA.
Yeah.
He's
He's
very-
also like hasn't initiated a date, so I'm like, I'm not gonna initiate one beforehand.
Wait, what if you guys FaceTimed?
That'd be fun too, but I'm also not someone that initiates that.
Yeah.
Like I really just do. I just let them let them move to see what their intentions are.
I agree. Yeah.
I'm trying to radiate that energy from both of you in my day-to-day practice of existing.
I hear you. It's hard. Wait, let me show you guys him.
Okay.
And then I feel like there's more to say about that. I feel like you have something to say.
No, I want to finish out and round out your.
No, that's pretty much it. I just want to show you guys him because I think he's so cute.
Wait, you can look him up on Google?
Because he's a director.
That's crazy.
He's a director?
Look at how cute he is!
Oh, his
His Instagram doesn't look like this, though. His Instagram doesn't look like this. Here's the one caveat. Not for me, but for my other ladies. Short king.
Oh.
But you love that.
I do love that.
We were just talking about this.
But you love
You're a
it.
short queen, so it works out for you as well.
Short king with a face card.
But here's my
Short king
thing.
with a face card.
She doesn't
They have
even.
big
That
dicks.
doesn't even. She loves to
can't
have them
say-
at like
show
her
this to my
face, so she can just grab them.
Yep, exactly that.
Yeah.
Oh.
We've talked about this. Cammy and I were. I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast. We have talked about this on the podcast. Cammy and I were roommates for 2 years, 2.5 years.
Yeah, we were.
And so like, Cammy has said to me many a times, because Cammy's like interests in men are just shorter, and so Cammy's like,
Not only, I just can appreciate.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Let me rephrase. She can appreciate shorter men, and so like it just is always very comical to me because the way she phrases it is she's like, I just like to have them at my face and just grab them and like
Yeah. It's so lovely.
I would-
like you're there, easy access. Okay.
I would like to say for the record,
Yeah.
I've given Short Kings a chance, and they always mess it up. It
Yeah.
always becomes a problem. Always. No matter how much they say they're cool with it. It's like, one time I was dating this guy who was a little shorter than me, and this was like kind of like almost a year into the relationship, and so we're like kind of getting tired of each other. And I'm like walking on the sidewalk, right? And he's like walking on the side of the street, like slightly off. And he's just like stops and like looks at me. So I'm like a little bit above him, right? And I'm like looking down, and he's like, you always position yourself to be taller than me. Out of nowhere.
That's crazy.
And it was crazy. And I laughed because I was like, that's ridiculous.
And he
I
was like
don't.
dead ass. He was
Yes,
serious.
dead ass, like
Wow.
wanted to start a fight about it.
Did
See,
you fight?
the way I would have walked away.
No,
Did
I
you
don't.
fight?
We
I would've-
like that relationship ended like pretty shortly after that. It was like
Yeah.
time, but it's just
Zoink scoop.
never again. Like
Zoink scoop.
it always becomes a problem
Yeah.
for me, at least as a taller lady.
So
I can only do
Love
my eye
Height,
level.
yeah.
Eye level's the shortest I will go.
How tall are you again?
I am 5'8".
That's valid.
I sounded like I was lying. I wasn't lying. I just couldn't remember. Not lying. 5'8". No, I promise. You promise? Yeah. No, I just like I can't. Anyways,
I remember from because you couldn't make it last week. You guys still have your soulmates to
Yes.
discuss
I'm
on the
so
pod.
Yeah.
Curious.
But something that we did last week before we opened up the soulmates page was that we'll have each one of you say if you believe in soulmates. What was the other one we had?
And your dream guy.
And your dream guy.
Like dream guy in the sense of like describing what our dream guy is like? Or
Yeah, like the qualities, whether physical or emotional,
Oh, okay.
personality.
Do you want to go
Yeah.
first?
Wait, also, did you guys have any life updates too? Like,
my only life update is that, and everybody knows this, is that I joined a workout class and I'm a workout girl now.
Yes.
I also get up at 5 a.m. to go. So I've been awake since, well, I've been awake since 4:55 technically. But I like it. It's fun. It reminds me of being an athlete. I feel like I'm at practice. And so it
Yeah.
like clicks that part of my brain, which hasn't been active in a while. But besides that, I have no romantic updates such as these three ladies over here. I'm in my meat era.
wait, also, does that mean you have a romantic update?
I don't have an update worth mentioning.
Valid.
In the sense that like it's not worth the air that I breathe.
That like took the
Yeah.
air that I breathed too. Like, damn. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It just is like not worth my time.
Yeah, men ain't shit.
Like, and it took up too much of my time and investment that like.
I hear you.
But did I just drive 45 minutes out of my way to drop off his stuff and not say a damn word? Sure did.
Yeah.
I dug my keys into
I feel like we have things to talk about when this podcast ends.
But I'm very proud of you for standing up for yourself.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, like, if you're not
period.
going to talk to me for nearly a day and a half and then expect everything to be rainbows and butterflies, you got me dead fucking wrong.
Period.
Dead fucking wrong.
Period.
She's not the one.
Like, I'm not
Or the
gonna.
two.
I've learned.
Wait, do you wanna tell the tea?
I mean, the brief thing that I will say is just that like, I'm not gonna have someone come in and say all these warm fuzzy things about me and me be a bit unsure, and then have like a bit of doubt because I've seen this film before, and then all for it to unravel because you're feeling some sort of insecurity and you take that lashing out on me and then I shut that shit down because I'm like, I'm not cool with that and you talking to me that way. And then because I shut it down and I hang up the call and I don't let you speak to me that way, there's no further communication as to explaining as to why you felt that insecurity or as to I'm sorry or as to like why I hung up the phone. And it's now been almost 48 hours since we spoke and you think that we're cool or you think that like I don't know what you're thinking because you haven't said anything. And the thing that I won't do is chase. I've been chasing guys. I've been going to them to tell them how I feel, been the communicator. And it's like, we're talking about soulmates today.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're talking about these people that like are going to see us and like meet us at our like equal. And it's like, I found myself today giving a lot of compromise and being like, well, I should see I should give them the benefit of the doubt. I should see, and I think that that's fair to give the person the benefit of the doubt and be open and willing to give a compromise, you know, and be like, you know, like, I wasn't fair to hang up the phone. That's not very well and communicative of me to hang up the phone. And I very well could reach out to them and be like, it's hurtful that you haven't reached out to me when you know that I'm hurt. And you can see that I'm hurt.
No, for sure.
Mm-hmm. But I've done this over and over and over again that I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah.
So my release of it was, I know how to create a simple and easy way of communicating that I'm done. And like, I'm fed up, and like, you will not take advantage of me and like run me over and think that you are like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I'm going to take the sweatshirt, the t-shirt, and the key card that we kept from the time that we spent in a hotel as memorabilia. I'm going to put all that shit in a garbage bag and put it on your fucking front door.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
As you should.
Yeah.
And walk away.
Nobody
and I'm not going to text you
to
and
treat
say
you like that. You know, I think that's the hard part. Like, when you're especially going through like just the moments, the beginning moments of something, it's hard to like figure out all that's happening.
And it's like, I'm not even like upset or like like grieving or like, and maybe it'll come later, but like, it's right now, it's more of like anger and like fired up because it's like, you've got the wrong bitch.
Right.
I am not one of your fucking LA bitches that's gonna break up with you, get back together, break up with you, and get back together.
And I think that's the perfect segue into saying what your dream man is.
Exactly.
For both of you guys to say
segue.
what your dream people are.
Communication. If you can't fucking communicate with me, no.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not the best communicator. I'm not. And I take responsibility for that. But like, I can't be the only one who's giving and giving and giving and giving communication, you know?
Yeah.
So communication is an ideal thing for me and my partner, my ideal partner for life. I also feel like for me, I ideally feel like someone who is willing to respect, you know, being like serious in the right moments, but also like comedic in the right moments, touchy-feely in the right moments, and also like respectful of like when it's the right time to like be mindful of like who's around and like what boundaries are. You know, like we don't need to be holding hands and feeling each other up and like being all touchy and lovey when we're around
I
our
cannot
friends.
stand that.
Yeah.
Like, you're in the hallway and you're making out in front of the stairs.
Yeah,
what are
or-
we doing?
Exactly.
Right, or if we're at the register, like, I don't need you to tell this is my biggest pet peeve as a barista. I do not need you speaking for me. I do not need you speaking for me.
Yeah. It feels
I kind of
performative.
love that.
I hate.
I'm sorry.
Literally hate.
Low-key, I kind of do that though, but like not exclusively with the people I'm dating. Just like if I'm at the dinner table and I know what we all want, like I'm just gonna say it because it's efficient. But I know what you mean though with the customers who like with the girlfriend like literally like standing behind your
No,
girlfriend.
that's what it is.
so
like,
valid.
yes.
The whisper.
Yeah.
So
and
she's gonna
it's
have
like when you
this,
ask them a question and then they go,
And they go,
okay, so they're like,
What milk do
that
you
question.
want?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
we're.
I'm like,
same
I'm right
distance
here.
of- Yeah,
Right.
No.
I want to be like,
I'm sorry, but Hey Mama's lesbians are also fit in that category.
That's
Like,
so true.
I'm screaming.
They love to be like, babe,
Yeah.
babe,
Yeah.
come on, you have to eat today.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what's
The background too, baby. You gotta
little chill. Please. But yeah, I feel like emotionally, that's probably like the general sense of like what I would want for my ideal partner. Physically, tall, tattoos.
Oh, tattoos.
Biceps are a big thing for me.
I thought you were gonna say bisexual.
Bisexuals are a big thing
No,
for me.
I didn't realize
Oh,
my
shit.
like
Me too.
my like thing for like just like physique, like male or female or non-binary. Like if you have like biceps or just like back muscles, I'm like. I'm like, oh my Lanta.
Yeah.
Tattoos. Whew, love tattoos. I go feral for tattoos. Tall definitely is a plus, just because I like to feel small. And I think the other thing about biceps that I like, and I've experienced this from past situationships, is I love being thrown around.
So true. So true.
So you need a freak.
Hey, man.
What's your
I'm relieving you of this. Okay, I'll go. So, characteristics, communication is also a really big thing. I'm also not the best communicator, but low-key no I am, because one thing about me is I hate having things unsaid. I will make sure we've communicated something, mostly because you don't want me thinking my thoughts alone. You don't want me sitting and thinking and not communicating, because then it'll just get bad. So clear communication and not being afraid to tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel. Let me know how you feel. Sorry, that's just like, that's me being irritated about a past situation that I've been in. And then somebody who is funny. First of all, because I communicate mostly through jokes, and therefore you have to also want to be able to laugh, or else it's not gonna work. Somebody who like cares about things. That's what, like, I think, especially if I'm thinking about like men, a lot of men that I've talked to before, they care about things, but like I don't know, I like care about a lot of like issues across lots of different things, and most men that I've met like care to an extent, and they're like, yeah, no, like, yeah, I think that's bad. Yeah. And like I need somebody to like match my like my care and empathy about specific things in the world, or else I'll feel crazy. And then I also really like people that are like family oriented. Ideally, you're not an only child. If you are an only child, you have a lot of cousins. But I like people that have like are pretty family oriented, and intelligent.
Oh, I have a good one. What's an ick?
An ick?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I have so many, but I can't like articulate.
My biggest ick is the negging. Is someone that like that likes to make fun of you. I can't.
I completely agree.
Like teasing?
Yeah.
I hate
Like there's a difference between like teasing, and there's a difference between being
malicious.
being malicious,
Yeah.
being like that shirt's ugly.
Yeah.
Or
Ew.
someone that's like that. Like your hair looks bad. Like people that like guys that will try to like
be mean because they think that's flirting.
yeah. But
Or they're
truly it
insecure.
just is like whenever someone's guy is being like that, it just is so telling of how they feel about themselves.
An ick I have, I hate when men call like me like kid. Like, I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but like it literally, Sex in the City, Big does it to Carrie. Hey kid.
Oh, right.
How are you, kid?
Right.
That shit bothers the fuck out of me. It literally bothers, because to me it just feels condescending. Like, I don't care if you don't think it's condescending. To me, that's condescending. Why? It's just if we're the same age. You're
Like, I'm a
you're
grown
older than me.
woman.
I'm a grown woman.
Yeah.
So don't call me kid. That's literally icks me out so bad.
Yeah. Also just creepy.
No,
Yes.
creepy.
Also, like, why are we like evoking that imagery right now?
Yeah.
Do you remember when we were at that one event and the guy like
Yes.
my hair was in pigtails, and this guy came up and he was like, "Yeah, I like you. Look good. You're giving like high schooler."
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep. And then me and Steph both looked up and we were like, no, that's creepy. Get out
The
of here.
Leos.
Yeah. No, we were like, no, you're
They
done.
immediately
Yeah.
said, "Leave."
Like,
sir."
that was really weird to say.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Disgusting. I feel like maybe my ick is like, this is gonna sound awful, but sometimes when men are like too affectionate, like when they're like too like outwardly like affectionate and like too like nice. This is gonna sound awful. It sounds awful. I know it sounds awful, but like sometimes it's like when they come across as like too affectionate or like too like
It's kind of giving desperate, or like at least that's what I'm
Yes,
hearing.
like when it's
Yeah.
like too on the nose about some things, I'm just kind of like, there's no, or like when I was talking about it to Sav actually the other day. Like I went on a date with this guy and like I was like saying some jokes and like I think I'm kind of funny, but everything was funny to this guy, and I was like,
Me.
Have you seen that meme like with Drake laughing at Rihanna's joke where he's like,
Yeah, I just think about
Yeah.
Zendaya and Tom Holland. Tom had my girl laughing like it was everything he said was a joke, and that is all I'm saying.
and to me,
That's
I'm just
goals
like,
right there.
I just like, to me, I'm just kind of like, I like a little like where like I say something and then it's like you say something back and it's like a tennis game. It's like who's gonna have the better like.
You like a bit of banter.
I
That's
love a
so
banter.
normal.
I love a
She loves
banter.
bant.
A bant.
But when I don't like if like I shoot you something and then you're like, and then you miss. I'm like,
I'm crying. She said,
so
"Don't lob
funny.
the ball." First
I'm
of
like-
Don't lob the ball.
literally, I'm like,
I volleyed that. Come on.
all. Come on now.
I'm like, why
That's
are we
so funny.
fucking playing? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't have to be good at the game, but at least try.
At least try.
Like,
Right.
I might not be great at bowling or I might not be great at tennis, but at least I'm trying my fucking hardest. Like, why are you over here like, oops, I missed?
Because they're in love.
yeah.
Because they're in love.
No, they're not. They don't know me.
What about you, Sterling? Do you have any eggs?
If
What's your biggest egg?
they're not smart.
Oh, huge egg.
Unsmart?
Yeah, just not smart. Yeah,
Like
I
common
can-
sense or like intellectual? Like or
both.
I
I
don't
think at a certain point, like, it could be all fun and games when you're just like flirting or it's casual or something, and they're just like not very smart. But at a certain point, it gets boring
yeah.
to talk to someone who's like not,
right.
like kind of
Yeah,
along the lines of what you were
intelligent,
saying, like
yeah.
not
Not
interested in
mentally-
anything.
They don't mentally stimulate you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I need good conversation. Everything you guys also said, respectfully, with the exception of yours, I also agree with. So
She said-
I was kind of like racking my brain to try to find another one.
I hear that.
And I think it's like if I can't have a good conversation
Yeah.
It's real.
yeah.
or not open to new ideas, I always like to like
That's
Yes.
a big one too.
kind of like challenge the way that I think about things most of the time, and so I'll come into conversations being like, oh, I learned this, and like, have you ever considered that? And then to be like shut down because you're just not curious, it's big egg.
That's
I
real.
would agree.
Wait, do you want to read the thingies? Bella?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
is it time? Is
I
it time
believe
for your
it's
guys'?
time.
Let's go.
Okay. Should I go first or you want to go first?
You go first, pretty lady. You're the
I
first one up.
warned everyone on the podcast. I'm dyslexic, so bear with me. Okay, Isabella Marie. Y'all just got the full name.
Yeah, do you,
Legal. We
you
might.
want the full legal in
I don't
there?
think I want the full legal on there.
Okay.
Isabel, or hold on. We're gonna cut this back.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut this back. We're gonna do mine. This is for Bella Marie herself. Okay. Okay. Your future husband will have an intriguing and magnetic, not majestic, like a horse.
Spirit.
Nay. Your husband will have an intriguing and magnetic presence, a mix of mystery and quiet confidence that makes people naturally draw to him. Well, to him, guys.
Yeah, that's
Darn it.
That's what we paid for.
Okay, standing around 6 foot or slightly taller, he will have a lean and well-built frame.
Hey.
Anything about shoulders? Anything about shoulders?
I know, literally.
What
I'm
did the
like,
trap say?
reflecting his balanced approach to fitness and wellness. His dark, slightly wavy hair will often fall effortlessly to place the framing of his sharp yet refined facial features. His striking green or deep brown eyes will be his most captivating trait, intense and soulful, always revealing a deep emotional intelligence beneath his composed exterior. His smooth olive-toned complexion will have a natural radiance, suggesting his heritage that may include Mediterranean or Latin American roots. Guys, you ate. Guys, my Hispanic king.
This lady hasn't given anyone a black person.
Nope.
That's all.
Nope.
What the fuck?
And also, fair point.
But-
we did pay for soulmates. That's so like heteronormative though to have all of us
True.
gay men too.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Who's gay here? Sierra, raise your hand. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Raise your damn hand. Go on. His smile will be subtle but deeply meaningful, the kind that makes an impact
When it appears.
when it appears, lighting up his face and putting others at ease. Aw. You know what?
That does sound
I
sweet.
actually really do appreciate that last part because that's one of like the biggest things. I didn't mention it before, but one of the biggest things that I notice about a guy is his smile. Like if he has a really great smile, it definitely like draws me into a guy. Like it's like one of like my favorite features on a man is like his smile. Like eyes, sure. Biceps, yes. But like a smile on a guy, if he has a beautiful smile, like I melt.
Yeah.
I melt. Okay. I guess I'll continue. Guys, I'm already kind of reading ahead and I see something that's making me really fucking pissed off, so I'm scared.
Is it the Scorpio?
Your future husband will be intelligent, deeply intuitive, and emotionally aware. Thank fucking God. I hope so. He will have a quiet strength, someone who doesn't need to be the loudest in the room to command respect. And yes. I really hope that this has some truth to it, and I'm going to manifest that it does. His natural curiosity and love for knowledge will make him an engaging conversationalist, and he will always be eager to explore ideas, cultures, philosophies with you. While he may seem reserved at first, once he opens up, he will reveal a passionate, romantic, and deep, loyal heart. He will be the type of person who listens intensely and remembers the little things, and will always make sure you feel valued and understood. Period! Sorry, guys.
Period, poo.
This is all that I wanted you to hear. He will likely work in a highly analytical, thank you, in a highly analytical and creative field. Love to hear that. Such as technology, psychologically, the film production, okay,
Okay.
or writing, guys.
Oh my gosh, maybe like a screenwriter or a director.
Screenwriter, director, actor.
Guys, actor. Oh, scared about an actor, but
No,
in the
you're actor.
oh well, yes, but in the creative field, his ability to see beyond the surface of analyze situations with precision and care will make him the master problem solver. This is where you lose me. This is where you lose me. As an Aquarius woman, astrologically, he aligns with Scorpio. Peace and love, and I love you, and I love you, and I love you as a Scorpio woman. Astrologically, he aligns with Scorpio. What do you mean?
What if his like rising and moon like balances it out? You know what I mean? This is just
That's true.
Yeah,
maybe.
But I do feel like an enemies to lovers trope would do like I think
me
you
well.
would
It
you would
also-
do that.
Yeah, you also just said
I
that
see
your
that.
biggest ick was when men are too nice.
Yeah.
So, I hear you, but just might be
The
looking at
universe
the-
said noted.
yeah,
enemies to lovers trope.
yeah.
His emotional depth, passion, and intense focus will create a relationship filled with loyalty and profound connection. Great. One of his most specific traits will be his ability to truly understand you on a soul level, making you feel safe, cherished, deeply loved in ways you'll never expected before. Aw. Astrological insights suggest that you will meet him in your mid-20s, possibly 25 to 27. Okay, well, I'm 24, so that is annoying.
It's just next year.
Whatever, it's fine.
Mine said like 28, like late 20s. So I've got a while.
What did yours say?
I don't remember. I need to look at mine again. Do you have them on you?
Not on me. They're at
No
my
worries.
house right now.
No worries.
During a significant period of self-discovery and major career milestone. Guys,
I could pull it
during
up.
a major career milestone and period self-discovery, it's when I'm going to make it big, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be when I make it big that I meet my fucking soulmate. So,
Yeah.
guys, it's going to be when I turn 25.
Yeah.
Hey, knock on some wood. Knock on some wood.
Okay. Oh. There you go. Right.
I always knock on my head,
No, me too.
but I don't know why I knocked on my heart. It just felt right.
Just not doing all of them.
The meeting may take place in a quiet and meaningful setting, such as a bookstore, a conference, or an intimate gathering where deep conversations naturally unfold. A writer's room.
A writer's room.
While the connection may start off in a subtle intrigue, as you get to know him, you will realize he is someone you can't imagine your life without.
Ooh.
Now this photo, don't piss me off. Don't piss me
Artist
off.
interpretation.
I feel like you.
Her face.
Artist interpretation. Look, nobody said this lady was Michelangelo.
I feel like you've dated men like that though. Like I'm gonna be so
Sterling
real. Yeah.
It's just like
Sterling
It's the
Kami.
haircut. It's the haircut.
Well, you could work
But
on
you,
that.
I feel like you've dated men with that haircut.
No.
She sent me, girl.
Not with the 8th grade haircut. The 8th grade push to the
For
side
me,
haircut.
it's the jaw. I don't think you've dated like men that look exactly like that. I don't
No.
know. But for me, it's the jaw on
Yeah.
that one.
No. The face, the face. I'm not mad at the face. It's the hair.
Oh,
The
you know what's crazy?
hair.
Because I also was like, ooh, the jaw.
No, the jaw doesn't throw me off, or the nose.
I'm so excited to show you
Or
guys
the
mine.
eyes.
I feel like she went
Mine
crazy a
looks
little
great.
bit with the perspective on yours. Like all of our other ones are like straightforward, and then this one's
Yeah.
like slightly to the side. So maybe that's.
I know it's giving model.
It's giving football to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives
Like,
little
it's all
football
American.
boy.
All
Yeah.
American model football. Well, if you're out there and this looks like you,
Right? If this
Yeah. Up here. It's up here.
have you seen this person?
have you seen this man?
All these people are
Get
just
'em.
like people
He
on
kinda has-
Instagram.
yeah.
yeah. Like
Please.
she fine.
I will say this guy kind of has like some lips.
Yeah, he has nice lips.
He got some nice lips.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
Do we do like an overall like what I like before we move on?
Yeah, maybe like a little quick one.
A little summary. Overall, I would say there's a lot about this that I deeply connect with, and I've always kind of like when I've thought about my like ideal person or like my soulmate, like I've always like envisioned in a way, like in the sense of like the smaller things or like the physical things that like she mentions, especially like the green eyes or like the deep like the like when she mentioned that, I was like, oh, that's interesting because like those are things that like I didn't like say outwardly, but like subconsciously like in my brain like I've always thought that. So there are like subtle things in here that like I was like, oh, that's interesting, and like I really connect with that. So I definitely will say in terms of manifestation, I'm definitely going to take some of this stuff with me and like put it into my practice as like a someone who like manifests this stuff. There's also some things that I'm like pretty general, and I feel like it's like, you know, whatever, but there's also some things that I'm like, I think it's interesting that it's very career oriented, because I feel like that's always how I felt I would meet my partner is in my career.
Well, you kind of have to. I feel like with like being an actor and stuff. Like,
But
you
I
have
think
to-
it's also interesting that it's like creative career. You know, like she don't know what I do.
Exactly.
because she just be knowing things.
She like searched up my name.
She found it on LinkedIn actually.
That's funny.
Um,
That's a lot of work for
okay.
how much we paid.
yeah.
Okay. Moving on to mine. Okay. If I read too fast, let me know.
Okay.
No, you're good.
Okay. Your future husband will have a bright, engaging presence, the kind of person who naturally lifts the energy of any room. He will have a golden bronze complexion, reflecting his active lifestyle and love for nature. His hazel or honey brown eyes will be full of warmth, always reflecting a quiet confidence and intelligence. His dark, wavy or curly hair will have a rugged yet stylish look. Sorry, hinting at his adventurous personality. His smile will be wide. His smile will be wide, slightly crooked, but undeniably charming, with a boyish energy that makes him incredibly likable. Standing around 6'1", he will have a well-built frame reflecting his love for fitness.
Ooh. With you going to the gym and everything, maybe you're gonna meet a trainer over there.
Like, actually, don't do that one.
Girl, not to not to.
Run away from the trainers.
Hey, love
can
my
find a man
trainers
in
down,
the
not
gym.
them too though.
Yeah.
Your future husband will be a natural leader and an optimist, always ready to take on new challenges. He will have a bold personality, but will also know when to be serious and grounded. He's someone who will never let you feel stagnant, always encouraging you to grow and chase your dreams. Oh my gosh, words. He will likely work in a leadership or athletic-based career, such as coaching, business leadership, or even something hands-on like environmental work or sports management. Astrologically, he aligns with Aries. His drive, confidence, and dynamic energy will match your spirit perfectly. One of
Can we double back to the fact that we said you were gonna meet him at like the gym, and then it says his likely work is gonna be athletic based career coaching.
All this is telling me is that I will be a wag. Yeah. All this is telling me is that the years to be sick, I'm gonna be a baseball wag. Is
exactly
baseball. Out of all the sports, we're choosing baseball.
Girl, I'm not gonna. Okay, do you want me to? Do you want me to go through my?
Do baseball boys get paid more?
Yeah, they get paid so much money, and they're not insane. Football boys don't have brain cells. Okay,
Yeah,
so true.
Basketball boys cheat for a living.
Right.
They're off season. What are you training for? Cheating.
Right.
Yeah.
That's an NBA player. Baseball, they just all go. They have great butts.
That was.
They hit their little balls, and they go and they make money and they live their lives.
Yeah.
Average salary for an MLB player, $4 million.
That's less than.
No, yeah, they don't get paid as much as the NFL or the NBA.
I said I'm not impressed.
Cammy, you know what I'm thinking about is health is wealth. Health is wealth. My mental health is wealth.
The highest paid player in the MLB is being paid $765 million.
That sounds more accurate. That sounds more.
Shohei Ohtani just signed his $700 million.
I'm sorry, baseball's just boring. This is what I'm speaking from. Like, I'm going to the baseball game, but I'm not.
Give me a
I'm
baseball
not
man.
watching.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me finish. Okay. So he's an Aries.
Love that for you.
One of his most special traits will be his ability to bring passion and excitement into your life, keeping your relationship energizing and inspiring. Astrological insights suggest you will meet him in your mid-20s, around 25, possibly through an athletic event, a leadership seminar, or an outdoor adventure that brings you together in an unexpected way.
Now show this man. Show this man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow. That looks like someone we know.
Yeah.
Somebody you know?
Do you know what I instinctively thought? We're going to have to bleep it out. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the hair and the nose, but I thought.
Okay, first of all, that's rude.
I think mine looks.
Really?
Yeah.
First of all, that's rude, Bella.
I know.
First of all, I don't know. He kind of looks like.
He looks like someone else. He looks like someone we know.
He looks like he kind of looks like Francisco Lukowski, which I don't think anybody in this room is gonna know who that is. But essentially, he's
I don't.
Oh, he's a Brazilian model whose face was everywhere across Wattpad in the years of 2013, 2015. He was on.
Yo, somebody out there is like, yes!
He was on every single Wattpad, like, bad boy cover story, and I followed him because I thought he was really hot. I'll show you him.
Yeah, I want to see
I'm
him.
looking him up.
Oh, okay.
What do you think? What do you think of overall person?
I like it. A lot of it, like, kind of what Bella said, she brought up a lot of things that, like, because, like, earlier I didn't talk about, like, my physical stuff, but, like, smiles are a really big thing for me. Like, nice smiles are, like, it. I've also always imagined my, like, partner to have, like, wavy hair or curly hair, but also, like, in a longer way. Like, the long hair thing was creepy, not creepy, but crazy, because I like running my fingers through hair. That's, like, my favorite thing to do.
Were you the girl that would, like, braid your friend's hair in elementary school?
No. No, I just, like, love... no. But I do, like playing with people's hair. And then... I gotta tell you in a second, because I gotta think about
Sorry,
it.
continue.
No, you're good. The 6'1" thing, that was a non-negotiable, so that obviously was gonna. If she just said short, I would have cried. I honestly think it's interesting that it, like, the person is supposed to be into, like, fitness and all that stuff. Just because that's not what it is what I imagined, but also, like, not what I imagined at the same time. Like, you know, it was just like.
It's not necessarily like a priority, but something you enjoy.
I've always been drawn to people that, like, go to the gym or, like, do sports or things like that. But I figured that was just conditioning of how I grew up. And I low-key always thought it was something I needed to condition myself out of, because it hasn't not worked out for me so far. But I guess that is actually just, like, what I like. So maybe I shouldn't do that. The other thing that I... like, the special traits thing about, like, bringing passion, excitement, or being, like, charming and energizing, reading that made me reflect upon every, like, man I've ever liked. And I have always liked men that, like, come in and, like, bring an energy. And, like, I've always liked presences. Positive presences, not negative ones. Some people come in, it's negative, but I've always liked really positive ones. So I thought it was cool. We'll keep you guys updated and let you know.
Yes.
I turned 25 in 2 years. No, in a year and a half. So I'll let you know. Oh, okay.
That was
Let me
fun.
look.
Round of applause.
Um,
All right, so to get us back on track, because we did take a little mini breather, iPad time. We're gonna bring up some of our like own little like segues / like things that kind of just like intrigued us about this like week that like, or just like in general like recently that like have just kind of like tickled our brains a bit. That we're kind of like segueing into the podcast because we wanted to like, you know, bring some things to light of like just things that have like interested us, like other than just like our day-to-day lives, but just like things that are more like relevant to like pop culture or like even just like, you know,
art and media,
you know,
as
whatnot.
artiste
Right.
in the world.
Exactly. I feel like because you tagged off of what I was saying, it's not even, I don't even know if that's the right way to say it,
No.
but I feel like
Let's
you
do
should go first,
popcorn.
Miss Girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
popcorn. I piggybacked.
That's the
Yeah.
word.
You
pig deed my bad.
Wait, say that again. No, that one deserves to be said with your full chest.
No, that was a secret. If you heard that in the pod, then you know. Oh, wide shot. You probably can't see me. Hold on. Ugh.
I
Hey.
gotta scooch.
Oh, now she's closer to me.
Yeah, you know the vibes.
Cozy.
So me, art, or the thing that I want to talk about, I had two different things. I'm not gonna go with hairspray. We can save that.
Damn it.
Oh, do you want me to talk about the 2007 movie musical Hairspray? Because I will.
I mean, do you want to talk about it?
Cammy?
Yeah, that's actually one of the rare
can't see.
occasions where I do have an opinion on a movie because I have in fact seen it.
I love
You've
that
seen
movie.
it?
Yeah, I told you I had to do it for queer film studies.
Okay, well, okay, we're gonna
Like
talk.
the best movie musicals
There's a
ever.
lie.
Exactly. Queen Latifah.
Sorry.
Okay, so I guess I will talk about that. I rewatched it like a couple weeks ago, but my connection to that movie, I watched it when it came out, and as a black fat child, that movie really struck a chord with me in many different ways. In many different ways. It also stars Zac Efron, peak High School Musical 2, when I had the biggest crush on him.
You hoes don't know
Y'all
about peak High School Musical 2.
Zac Efron,
The
okay?
best,
Yeah.
best High School Musical,
When
by the
he
way.
No, literally.
still looked like Zac Efron.
Look, he broke his jaw. Like you.
I don't believe that he broke it in the way he
believe it?
says that he did.
You think it's
I think there's a conspiracy afoot. I think he owed some people a lot of money. And they got him. They got his ass for not paying
They
up.
got his ass.
I fully believe it's probably just something lame. Like something really lame happened.
I think
Well, he
he's got
says
a
that-
botched job.
He claims that he fell. Like, he fell so hard that he cracked open his jaw.
I heard
No.
he smashed his face into a pool, which is something that can happen.
Okay.
Like,
That's what
I
I
think
heard.
someone pushed him into the pool.
I think he wanted. I think
Sterling
he-
believes
said
Tony
there's
Child's
something
trying to kill
else there.
him.
There, and just an intuition. I'm like,
I feel like he just got
I
a
believe
really
that.
bad, like face.
Like buccal fat removal, and they broke his
just,
jaw.
like- no, I just think that he like tried to like get something done, and then they fucked it up, and then they were like fix it, or like he tried to like get something done, and they were like fix it, and then they fucked him up.
But yeah.
Anyways,
Anyways.
he was so fine.
No, he was so fine back then.
your
But
mind.
yeah, I was just rewatching it, and I haven't seen the original, and it's a book. Is it a play or is it a book?
Let me do some
play.
research. Continue.
It's a play.
it's a play that got turned into a movie by John Waters originally,
Yes.
and then they
Yeah.
made it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did a deep dive once a long time ago.
Okay, history.
Let me fact check that. That was awesome.
But yeah,
Right, damn.
as somebody that doesn't know the source material, like I really am operating off the 2007 adaptation of this movie. I do think that it is like, I don't know, this is like it as a concept, as a piece of art that exists in the world. It's just like so interesting, I guess, to me. Like it's a movie. Well, first of all, there are a lot of things that can be wrong with it. First one,
Right.
I'll say right now, that movie 100% equates being fat to being black in America.
Right.
While both are
about
really,
that.
really bad. Like being fat in America, you face a lot of prejudice. Being black in America, girl, it's not. It runs deeper than that, you know.
I do have a correction. It was originally a screenplay made by John Waters in the 70s, 60s, 70s, and then in 2002 it was made into a musical. So it was a movie first.
The Hairspray movie happened first. Wow.
The 80s one, right? Or like the 70s, 80s.
Like 60s, 70s.
Yeah. The 1988 film.
Oh,
Yeah.
1988.
But so like there are things like I'm not saying it's a perfect, by all means it's not a perfect movie like in the slightest, but it's just so like the music slaps. Like imagine being 7 years old and you're seeing Seaweed for the first time and he's singing the blacker the berry the sweeter the juice. Like,
He was so
Blacker the berry,
the sweeter the juice.
Yes.
Yeah, like like it's
Was
like
he?
it's too much. It's too like that movie is just too good. The songs are too good. It is like for what it is. I think especially like in the society, like the type of media literacy, the average media literacy in this country, I think it's a really great movie to like introduce those type of topics to. And yeah, I also just think it really played a big part in my life because I was a fat black child and it was a movie that was saying, hey, you're fat, that's okay, Zac Efron can still fall in love with you.
Right?
And then also saying, hey, you're black, that's literally, the movie literally like being black is better almost.
Well, I was gonna say like there's also that like it
Clock it.
quite literally like there's a segment where they have like the two songs.
The best segment in the movie.
Like it is quite literally like is undeniably a segment that quite literally shows like the like even just like music.
Yeah.
How like musically like how like
the
they just did
essentially
it better.
Yeah, essentially if you've never seen the movie, which you should.
So
Who
good.
at this point in the year of 2025?
Savannah Rivers.
Savannah hasn't seen Hairspray.
No, because I'm literally
She's never seen it?
She would love it.
That's what I keep telling her. I literally have it. It's the top of my list of things I have to show her. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna.
How much
I
you
support
guys
that.
I do really encourage you watching the original too because I think you'd also really love the original.
Oh no, I know. The one time I tried to watch it, I was like 14 or something, and so I just like
free on Amazon Prime.
yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah, but I do want to watch it so I know better.
Because it like it covers being fat in America, black in America, but then also like queer in America because
yeah, they don't
Divine
cover that in 2007 one.
is a transsexual woman. Or no, I don't think she's transsexual. She's a drag queen.
Yeah, that's also a fun fact. If you've ever seen the movie and you thought why John
the
Travolta, it's a what's the word? It's a tradition from the 88 movie of the mom always being a drag queen.
Wow.
That's why they chose John
I
Travolta.
love that.
Yes.
I love that. I did that play in that musical senior year of high school. It was like,
Who were
Who
you?
are you?
I was Motormouth Maybell.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that specific musical opened up a lot of doors for me in the theater world. So I love that musical. I love that film. It holds a lot.
Chills.
Right?
You talking about it.
Aww.
I just.
It was like the first musical too at my school that we could do that was like centered on a black story. Yeah, because it was it was enough that like you because of course I was in Utah, so there was a small amount of black students, but enough for the story to actually happen. So
That was good.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Because the story itself is dated, like, and like, there is like a lot of parts like in the musical where they like have like they like talk about like and they use like use the word like they use like certain like language that like wouldn't be used like today. Like how would you like how do you like feel about it like
You mean
listening-
like the racial words and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, for those types of things, and this is like something I picked
like
up
doing it in modern day. I mean, in the sense like of like for musicals, like
for me.
Like should actors be able to say the N-word
for me
for this case of the script?
For me personally, I don't. If you're gonna be acting within a timeline and within like in the movie, for example, like they literally like Negro Day is like literally they say I wish every day was Negro Day. That's like literally something Nikki Fonte says, or or Amanda Bynes goes like I'm a checkerboard chick. You never gonna hear somebody call themselves that now.
no, which is like
Or
it's a
but
period piece.
or even like Michelle
crazy.
Pfeiffer at one point she says we need to point these kids in the white direction.
right.
And then he's like,
Right.
you mean right direction? She said, that's what I said. Like,
Right.
things like that are, like, obviously, like, when you hear it, you go, oh, my God, I can't believe they said that. But, like,
It is
mind you, this is pre-segregation 60s. Like, they're
Right.
going to be talking like that.
It
My-
is a period piece.
Honestly, my problem with things is that it's like toned down.
Yeah.
Like, what we consume in our media about like racial tensions and
It's not what
racism
it was.
is such like whitewashing and such like a blissful reenactment of like, oh, we were just mean to each other. No.
So much worse
It was
than that.
it was so much worse than that. And like, they will never in our society, current society, actually make stories of what happened to like Black Americans and African Americans
during that time.
Yeah. So like,
So for me, I'm like, if they use words that like serves the story, if it's serving the story, then I think like, yeah, let's say all the crazy shit that white people were saying.
Right. To exploit like what it was like.
And then if it doesn't serve the story, then it's like, I look at the directors and the writers weird. Like, why are we?
Yeah, that's like a good example of that is like, have you guys ever seen Pulp Fiction? So like in Pulp Fiction, Quentin Tarantino's character like says a whole bunch of racial slurs towards who's that
like
kid?
at the end of the movie.
Yeah, and it's like that. Like when I watched it, I was like, okay, that was unnecessary.
Yeah, he's
right.
Like it was completely unnecessary to the story. He literally only did it to be edgy and like shock people. That doesn't make sense. But like when you're watching something like Hairspray that's literally about desegregation and it's about Jim Crow, then they are going to be saying things like that because that's what it was. But like things like in Pulp Fiction when he says all those slurs like towards the end, you're like, okay, you just said that because you could.
Right.
You said that because you're the director and you're the writer and you put yourself in the movie and you could do that. No offense to Quentin Tarantino fans. Please do not come for me.
No, full offense to Quentin Tarantino fans. As someone who got into or went to film school because I was inspired by Kill Bill. Like, I used to be a Tarantino stan until I educated myself more, and I am a big believer in well, that's not even true because he like, I was gonna say that I'm a big believer in death of the author and that like his work should be separate from him as an individual, but he injects his weirdo freak shit into the
every
movies.
single movie that he's made.
Exactly.
Your artistry is you at the end of the day. Like people like to say like they separate their artistry from themselves, but like there is a piece of you in every art that you do, even if it's just like a sliver.
Right.
That's why when people are like, oh, but I listen to this artist, but like it's okay because I separate the music from the artist. It's like that's them.
I just have a problem with the mass consumption, at least Tarantino specifically. We don't have to stay here. I know we have other things, but my problem is that like it's consumed on such a mass level and no one from the general audiences, obviously, no one calls him on it, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's
Nobody calls him on that.
Yeah, it like this most recent Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that I actually ended I had only dated this guy for like a little while, but I actually ended a relationship over that movie because I couldn't stand it and I was like railing against it, and he was like, I didn't realize you were such a feminist, like.
But like that movie's so insensitive to like the actual
to the
people
victims
that like died.
Yeah, like Sharon Tate is not a character in that movie. She's just a fiction. She's just, and I think that that's so disrespectful to the memory of Sharon Tate, as well as the victims of Manson, like the women that actually carried out those things. Like you can tell Tarantino hates women by that end scene where they set that woman on fire and like throw her in the pool and beat her up to death. You know, it's like so unnecessary.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah.
It's about like the Manson family. Like, yeah.
I thought I watched this. Maybe I didn't.
I just remember sitting in the movie theater being like shocked and like almost a little like just so uncomfortable that like so many people around me were enjoying this.
it.
You know, and that was that feeling stuck with me. But that'll be the last thing I say on Tarantino.
The topic I wanted to bring up was the halftime show. I wanted to hear what everybody thought. I wanted to talk about the discourse behind the halftime show. I was at Honu Coffee, and they said they like their tip jar was, did you like Kendrick's halftime show? And it was like, it was okay, or it was amazing, and the it was okay jar was filled.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's
wait, can this is
makes sense.
This is gonna be off pod and or bleeped because I'm gonna drop a name. But I worked the Monday after opening. she's cleaning the little cabinet. She goes, "So what did you think about the halftime show?" I went,
no.
Enemy territory. Enemy territory.
Yeah.
no, I was like, because she was like, I thought it was okay. And I was like, oh, we mean completely just entertainment.
Yeah.
Like, because to me, that show was so obviously like a political statement that like when she asked, I was like, is she asking about my political beliefs right now? Because I don't know if we're getting into that like that. You know what I mean? Like,
well, similar to your story, there was a customer who came in, and right now at the coffee shop that we work at, our tip jar is
Kendrick or
Who Is
Drake.
Better, and it's like Kendrick or Drake, and this like older white gentleman who has made you can kind of sense a bit of an alt-right vibe from him, and I do try to keep our like conversations pretty minimal. He handed me the $1 that he wanted to give us for a tip, and he was like, you can put it in whatever, I don't know who these people are. And I was like, oh, they're musicians. And then he was like, I know that. So I was like, so why did you make that point of telling me to choose which one? Because you don't know who they are. That just felt like such a microaggression to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I hear that.
Right? I was like, what was the point of that interaction?
Like,
Men being men.
well, it's like you claim you don't know who they are, but you know that they're musicians. Like,
right.
so you do.
You do know.
So you do know who they are.
So you do know.
Well, it gives like oh, like that type of stuff is beneath me.
Exactly.
Type shit.
I had a
you know?
very-
And that's why I made a point of being like, they're musicians, not like
Yeah.
they're
Right.
rappers. It's like, because I know you are trying to make a point right now about the fact that they're rappers or the fact that they're black. Like there's something very like not even
Dark-sided.
thinly veiled
Yeah.
here.
No.
And so I'm gonna call you out on it. And
Just being
of course,
passive.
Yeah.
There was members at the gym that I work at, and I'm not gonna be.
Don't name.
I'm not gonna name drop it. I'm gonna be at a private gym that I work at. That came up, and this person was, coming at the front. They were at the front desk of the gym and trying to come into the gym, and they were doing their thing, and I was trying to help them with something, and the guy who was coming in, we were talking about the halftime show, and he was like, honestly, I didn't like it. And I was like, oh. And he was like, I thought it was really boring, and I didn't understand why they picked him. Like, I thought all of his song choices were bad, and like, mind you, this is an old white man, and he's like looking at me, like seeking for me to like agree with him. And I looked him dead in the face, and I was like, I couldn't disagree. Like I couldn't disagree more. Like, I think that's the right term. Like, I couldn't
you can
disagree.
Disagree more. Yeah.
Like, I was like, I couldn't disagree more. And the way he was so shocked, he was like, and my coworker, my boss was like, Bella. And I was like,
What are you even gonna say? Yeah, no, I agree.
like, and my tolerance for this place has gone like paper thin. Like, I had a woman flip me off the other day. So like, I
There's
was
no need for that energy
Yeah.
at the place you
At
work
the place you work at,
all.
yeah.
No.
That type of vitriol you experience at that front desk
literally,
is insane.
it's insane. It was literally because I told her she couldn't use the bathroom because she wasn't part of, like, she didn't have
A membership?
a membership at the
Oh.
gym.
That
And
makes sense.
I was
That
like,
was the only context in which I was like, someone that's a member at your gym would do that?
no, it
But-
was like a non-member, and they were coming in asking to use the restroom, and I was like, unfortunately, you can't. They were
Yeah.
like,
It doesn't make sense that they flipped you off. That's
yeah, that's
I
still,
was just like, the
that's still like
context.
too much.
But it was
Yeah.
still, it was so crazy. But regardless, this member was claiming about how he didn't find it entertaining. He didn't understand like what was the whole meaning behind it. He thought it was this and that. And I was like, I couldn't disagree more. And he was like, and my boss took me aside and he was like, you really shouldn't. And I was like, he asked for my opinion.
Yeah, like at what it's established now that as service workers, it's very clear that you're not supposed to have thoughts or opinions outside of what this person who you're serving has. But it's like, that's so degrading. I'm sorry, you're paying $7 for a latte. That doesn't entitle you to me having to like do a little dance
Like
for
song and
you.
dance.
Right.
Yeah.
And be
You
the
know?
dirt underneath your boot for you to
Yeah.
step on. Like,
Exactly.
I'm just as much as the
Well, like
person
I'm
with an opinion as much as like you are to like ask for a latte, like you know what I mean, like but going back to the discussion on the halftime show, fucking loved it. Clearly fucking loved it. There was so much symbolism and beauty and like it was like experiencing art while watching it happen live, that like, because we were together while we were watching it, and it was like I was noticing the details as it was happening live, and it was like watching art in real time. And I haven't really like seen that in a very long time, and I feel like there's a lot of like recent things that have been happening in our media that like I feel like is new and creative, that I'm like, I haven't felt this way, or I haven't felt inspired, or I haven't felt this way about said thing in a very long time. And I like that I'm feeling inspired by said artist or by said like media. And like it was very like transformative, and it honestly, like I felt like Kendrick's whole performance was, and someone said it on TikTok that it was like his performance was basically a free platform to protest. Like it was a free platform to do a free, like to do a broadcast protest. And
Kendrick is,
say Drake.
and correct, if you guys think of other artists, like let me know, but he's the only artist at his level of success, I feel like, who still like will say something with his whole chest, you know, will stand for something and has stood on it since the beginning. I feel like he's like a true, I think he's so intelligent and just like a true artist through and through. Yeah. Also, he's a Gemini. I don't know. I think that makes it sense. Yeah.
What is your opinions?
Yeah.
Because I've been yapping.
Wait, did you finish your thought?
Yeah, that was, yeah.
I loved the halftime show. We had a Super Bowl party at my house, and we were all like, it was like the perfect environment to be watching the halftime show at. It was so lovely to just be surrounded by like a bunch of black and brown kids and watching it in my home. And I like filmed like all of our recording.
Oh, I wanna watch that.
It was so fun. I think like for me, Kendrick's artistry is truly unmatched. I don't think that we have someone that's as detailed as him ever. Like I don't think there's anyone as detailed as
No, he
as
puts
him.
thought into like every single thing.
Yeah.
Chills.
Yeah.
Just
I'm not surprised at all by white people not enjoying it and certain groups of people not enjoying it. That doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
It doesn't surprise, but I also feel like it sends a message that it definitely had an impact. As much as they want to try to ignore it,
Right.
It's telling in the fact that you like are trying so hard to ignore it,
Right.
that you just are so above it and all of that. It's like, no, it got to you. It did.
Yeah, I agree.
Rubbed
And I
you the
think
wrong
it's a
way.
good marker for being like, I think it's just one of those things that like shows you where people are on the political scale.
Yeah.
it's telling.
Because it's also truthfully not even that radical. Like
No.
it was not radical. It was definitely revolutionary or like not revolutionary, but like
It was of like the revolutionary, like
yeah.
it was. I know exactly what you're saying. I know
Like the
how to say it.
context,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It was all in between the lines. You just had to read.
Yeah, and I am just waiting for the moment that when things do pop off. And to see, I think I could see Kendrick being a huge political leader if that happens in our lifetime. If anything happens in our lifetime, I could see Kendrick being
I agree.
a face of a movement. And I think he already is in so many ways. And I just loved how black the Super Bowl was
It
this
was
year.
so black, so black. It was so
Black
good.
ass Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And no, what were you-
But to bring it to the Super Bowl in general, I do think it was super dystopic to see.
so dystopic.
Though it was very black, and like I love to see it, and all the like black families that they highlighted and stuff. I think I saw like a clip where they like were showing different people who were there and stuff, but just seeing like the prices,
Oh,
like $40 for a cocktail. Like I don't live in that America.
What?
Like,
Yeah.
if you could
Yeah,
afford
girl.
to attend,
Girl, the
just
tickets to the Super Bowl are like $2,000 to sit
What?
up in the nosebleeds.
Just-
I
Yeah.
know that, but like it was how much for the?
a cocktail, like $40 for a cocktail. They like took a picture of a menu.
Yeah. That's kind of like
Oh my god.
that's kind of like fun fact, or something that I love about our late stage capitalism. Like if you go, my brother has tickets to the Chargers, which is the secondary football team in LA. If you're not from LA, there's the Rams, there's Chargers. Chargers secondary team. So we have free tickets.
Mhm.
Parking there, no matter what, $100.
Yeah,
100?
No matter what, no
the
matter where
class-
you're parking, that's $100.
the class divide is getting so apparent and so much deeper. It just.
I have something to say about that.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. I thought you were
No.
trying to high five me. I was like, wait.
But also, I had something to say about that. But finish your thought.
No, that was all.
No,
I
continue.
think the class divide is now becoming white. Like, I think a big reason why people are up in arms about like Trump being president again is because now it's affecting white lives.
Yeah.
It's not like, I don't know. My friend was saying that earlier, and that's been sticking with me. That like the problem, people are starting to awake to these problems because it's now affecting white lives.
Yeah. No, that's not. Yeah.
These problems have always been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
This is nothing new.
That's like
In a way, but
It's affecting all of the like white people that were considered middle class, and now there's no middle class.
right.
the middle
So
class,
now,
disappeared.
the
Now it's
middle class
paycheck to paycheck
Yes.
or Jeff Bezos.
Yep.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, that's why I always like. I don't know if I want to be in pod, but like I went to school with a lot of really rich kids. Like Santa Clara. I always love giving the statistic. 10% of Santa Clara's population is in the top 1% tax bracket.
Wow, Santa Clarita?
Santa Clara.
Santa
so
Clara.
It's up north in the Bay. So I went to like this one girl I knew. Her mom is the founder of Franzia
What is that?
Wines. It's a wine box.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are they good wine?
No, but
Okay.
they're
Box
great
wine.
for
Box wine.
slap the bag, get the wine. You know.
Oh, a boxed wine.
But
I have a funny story about that box.
I
wine
was
that will come
always
later.
I remember like when I was going there and I was like, I'm gonna become friends with like all these really rich kids so I can network. And it like obviously like race divide is a thing, but class divide is so like much more like people like I feel like for me the reason why I don't come off as like white mom is because I grew up poor.
Yep.
So I was always privy to the world's problems because I
Yeah.
didn't have money. If you have money, like even like I know a lot of black and brown people who are rich, and like there's a difference.
Yeah.
I
even
do
at
have
the
to
end of the
say
day.
that like race is worse than class divide.
Race is worse. I think class is more.
But race issues perpetuate class divide. So like I think that's why we see it throughout more people. You know what I mean? But
No, the race is obviously like 100% worse because that's like a systematic like thing, and it's also like, but like I think in terms of like connecting with people or just like getting to like I don't know, the living a rich life versus living a poor life, like you experience the world differently.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
You'll never I will never actually have anything fully in common with somebody that's like been rich their entire lives.
And I
Right.
feel like there's this period of mourning when you realize that, and you at least for me, I think like
I would agree.
how would my life have been different? What things would I be doing, or what would I have access to, if I hadn't had to like go through, or even just how much more peace would I be at peace with myself would I be if I didn't go through this like traumatizing thing that is growing up poor.
Yeah.
And it's just you just kind of have to accept it that it comes with its benefits for sure. Like I know how to survive. I know how to live on a
We've
budget.
been talking about this. We
Yeah.
know. We know. Yeah, we know.
But it does affect the way that I live and the way that I make decisions. Maybe less risk averse and things like that, because I have a very, very clear vision of what it's like, or how close all of us are to being homeless, for
Right.
example, or
Right.
something like that,
Yeah, I would agree. And something that's been helping me is just like the thought that like or something that helped me. I feel like when you're first becoming your own person too, and you're figuring out how to pay your own bills too, I think that's like another period of mourning too. And the thought of like we're always gonna want something we don't have, and
True.
is something that helps me. It's
Yes.
just
Yeah.
like
No. Yeah. You,
Oh, yeah.
contextualizing it is like I for the longest time was like, why, like we all do, like we all do, but the thought of let me see what my life is like right now, and let me be present with my life now, and not wait for me to enjoy life until I get to like a certain tax bracket, that's been something I've been focusing on over the past couple months.
I feel you. Yeah.
I will say, for as long as I've known Kami, she has been one of like the most inspirational people that I've had in terms of like
Aw.
living my life and like financially independent. Like because she, like, this is full props to this girl.
Aw,
She has
you're
been
so sweet, Bella.
financially independent and, like, strong and, like, her own person for so long.
You're so sweet to me.
But I'm being so for real. Like, for as long as I've known you, like, you have been so, like, strong and independent and, like, on your own because you are, and just because of your own circumstances. But, like, that shit's hard. And, like, now doing this for, like, 2 years, let alone for how long you've been doing it, I'm like, geez Louise, how have you done it? It's so hard. And, like, for anyone out there who's been doing it post-grad or like any of us, like, this shit is fucking hard. It's so hard. And, like, the fact that, like, especially artists, specifically all of us in this room, for us to want to pursue this career that we are wanting to pursue on top of living in a very expensive city, on top of going to school, on top of having our careers,
working multiple jobs,
jobs,
multiple jobs right now.
Like, I just would like to say, and this is very cheesy of me, but, like, I'm so genuinely, like, inspired and proud by everybody in this fucking room, because it's so hard. It's so hard. And I feel like every day, like, when we have customers come in and they're like, how's it going? I'm like, I personally am in a very rough part of the road right now where I feel like I'm driving on gravel, but I'm about to turn the corner and it's going to be smooth sailing.
Yes.
And I feel like a lot of us go through those paths, but it's like smooth sailing is coming. But I agree with you that, like, what you just said, living in the present and taking it moment to moment is how you get through the rough patches.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you can, like, breathe through it. Like, if you try and, like, anticipate the, like, it's gonna be fine, like, in a couple minutes it's gonna be fine, it's like you're gonna give yourself more anxiety.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's what I'm, like, starting to realize about a lot of my, like, life decisions and whatnot. So, but I just wanted to give credit where credit is due.
I appreciate that,
because I think that,
and I completely agree with that, because I think also, like, there's so much beauty in this life we get to live. Like, even if we were rich, how much of the amazing connections and how much of the lessons we wouldn't have right now. We would be completely emotionally different than the people we are right now if we had grown up rich.
And not to say money is the root of all evil, because I don't believe that at all, but after a certain tax bracket, every rich person I've met is miserable.
Right?
Like, they're just miserable little worms.
well, it's like, what can you do when you have everything?
Yeah.
Oh, they get weirder.
Yeah.
They get weirder, and they start to get more, like, just predatory.
Yeah.
It's
like that,
like parasites.
Yeah. It's like that concept. I always think about this concept, and it's weird, but it's, like, very, like, medieval and, like, almost like God, like, not like God, but like Greek god kind of thing, where, like, when you're immortal, the immortal people envy those who are human because they get to live life every day to the fullest,
something to lose,
and with something to lose, and to the fullest, because their next moment, their next life might be their last. And when you're immortal, it's like you get tired of it, because you know that, like, you're gonna keep living on and keep living on and living on. And, like, there's this, like, theory, and there's this, like, this quote in, like, Greek mythology that it's like the immortal people envy those who are mortal because they have something to lose, they have something to live for.
I love that.
And it's something that, like, sometimes I think about a lot when, like, life gets caught up in some things, that it's like we do have something to lose, and, like, there are stuff that, like, and it's not to diminish, like, the struggles that we go through, because each one of us in this room have things that we constantly go through every single day that, like, make it apparent in our lives that, like, it's hard to just, like, exist as artists, as people, as women, as, you know. And so it's just, but I think kind of circling back to, like, two of our main points, like, I think kind of doubling back to, like, Kendrick's performance and how, like, revolutionary the revolution is about to.
You picked the right time, but the wrong guy.
Like,
iconic.
He, like,
shit was just fly. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
there's one movement that I love that the dancers do. Like, someone better squabble. Like, they were doing so much stuff. I loved
I
it.
like the way he was walking.
Yes.
I love his
the
little
double shuffle.
Yeah, his little walk.
I love that his flare jeans went viral. I love
Dude,
that.
I remember watching it. I was like, "Ooh, his jeans are
right?
Nice.
I kind of love that it was like almost like an I Spy, where like you have to kept going
Yeah.
back, and like there were more details that you missed,
Yeah.
even though like if you keep like going back and looking, it's like there's more and more and more and more and more.
I aspire
details.
to be an artist like that. Like I aspire to have that much depth and that much care
I also
and knowledge.
I also love how holistic his art is because
because I'm not that.
We're starting to get delirious. It might be
Yeah,
time.
Yeah, it's-
I think we
agree.
end on the corn, guys.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Wait, yeah, just closing thoughts. I feel like just
I just wanted to, because last time I did my little New York accent.
yeah.
And I've worked on it.
Okay.
Jake Paul is the way he is.
This is my New York accent, y'all. Okay.
Mm.
I feel sorry for Big. I really do.
Ooh.
Because if you think about it, I was the best thing that ever happened to him.
Ooh.
Actually, I pity him because I get to walk away and be me, and he has to walk away and stay him. And who wants to be him when you could be me?
Period.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She's from New
She's
York.
That was New York.
Live from New York, we have Kami.
Live from New York. Shout out to Hood Vlogs. Hood Vlogs, you were my sound sample for this. We should do a collab.
Hit us up.
We do a whole episode in an accent, in a Boston accent.
Yes.
Guys, I can't do a New York
No,
accent.
Yeah.
Every accent I do just defaults to either a Valley Girl accent or a British accent.
Give us your British accent
Come on. British.
to close out the pod.
To close it out.
I say,
Hold it.
I can't. I can't. It's just a little British, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit much, like, to do this on the pod. Anyways.
And with that closes out our
I don't make it to
episode for
closing
the
time.
week. Thank you all for
Bye.
tuning in.
Thanks
Bye.
for watching. Bye.